So my friends, Jacob's here one more time. Thank you for pressing the play button, for spending a little quality time with me. The time is for the swine. Well, in fact, it actually is more about leaving the swine behind. You're gonna see. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. We just talked about the monolith, that demon monolith that was discovered. You know, it wasn't discovered in Joshua Tree, but it was really just a publicity stunt for a new game called Divinity.
Entire team every single day that we are working on our games. We've revealed Divinity, so this is the Healthstone. It was our little game to tease you. It was really a lot of fun seeing you trying to guess which game was behind it, but now you know it's Divinity. It's going to be a special game. It's going to be our biggest game. We're putting everything we have into the studio. We're putting all of the experience that we built up over the last 30 years into it, and I think you're gonna love it when you're gonna...
You know, what's ironic is, of course, the guy who's in charge of this. If you haven't seen that last video, you should probably check it out. It's a pretty good video, and it talks about this. Jeff Keighley is the guy's name. Well, let's just say that the Game Awards, there's a lot of talk about a certain pig. It's Miss Piggy. Yeah, that's right. Ironic. You know why? Because I said that pigs would be dominating the news soon. Yeah. I put this little post out. You see that over there? On 11/20, I wrote, tests, lies they are, spots in your feasts. Soon you will swoon, hearing about the pig's feet. Swine, swine, it's the pig's time. And in the world, this will soon be made clear. Beware, beware, beware. Don't cast the pearls you've learned in this world before these swine. For the truth they no longer have time. And so in them sound doctrine you will never find. Rooting and eating their own excrement with the slop that rots. They go where they're told and end up running straight off the cliff. The pigs in this story, you will no longer miss or dismiss, for pigs will dominate the news with lives only God can fix. Ironic I put that out. Why? Because I was having a vibe about the fact that everybody was turning into these carnal Christians, that this was the day of the swine. You know, the swine that we're not supposed to cast our pearls before? So, ironically enough, as I'm doing this video, I just read a DM from, you know, some really cool YouTubers that I had been trying to, well, I've been trying to get their Bible guy on the show, and at first I said, let's do it, and they say, okay, and what ended up happening was, well, my kid got sick, and then I got like a huge download, an amazing show, and I thought that the live show was more important. I said, we'll do it again, so I reached out to them again. They said no, and then I was called like a heretic, and all these things. These people that read the book like a minute ago, they just started reading the Bible. All of a sudden that they're, but that doesn't matter, because in the grand scheme of things, you know, I'm a sensitive guy, and things do weigh on me, but they're good guys. They're nice young men. They're just immature. They don't know any better. But, you know, what are you going to do? My point is, this whole post is about not casting your pearls before swine, because what happens is they come at you. They'll attack you. That's why I'm not going to put anybody down. Everybody's where they're at, right? We got to understand. But the fact of the matter is, exactly 22 days, you know, 22, the Tav, the big number on the show, 22 days from me saying that pigs will dominate the news, and pigs are dominating the news. You remember the 6'7" viral craze? You know that thing? Some people say that it's connected to, you know, that rapper who's connected to like Santeria and all that stuff, and they say, oh, this is you're getting a bunch of kids to invoke some demon chant curse thing. That's ridiculous, because in the grand scheme of things, if you believe that, you're possessed by a demon. In the grand scheme of things, because we know on the channel that the devil is the father of all lies. Lies! The devil is the father of all lies. There's no truth in him. There's never been any truth in him. So anything that comes out of the devil, a demon, a devil, anything, it can't be truth. That's why the truth does what? It sets you free. Sets you free from what? Sets you free from the lies you believe. One of them being endless torture, where you're tortured endlessly by a God of love, as opposed to that God, you know, being smart enough to make you learn your lesson and show you that it's much better to love, because we're all one. But the 6'7" craze, well, they named the pig 6'7", and this pig, by the way, was he was pardoned. He was pardoned. Yeah, we don't want to get rid of the pigs. The pigs are going to be okay. In the news, there's a pig butchering crypto scandal that's going on right now to the tune of $240,000, $500,000 a business owner is out of. Scam in the news about the piggies. In Hong Kong, there was a wedding and everybody's freaking out because guess what? 31 people got ill because of a suckling pig. This is what's weird because of contamination and pollution and everything else. People that are hunting wild boars right now, this is like an environmental issue. They're saying because they're killing these boars and they're finding that their skin, that inside of their skin, it's neon blue. Yeah, they're cutting into these swine, these boars, and it's blue. Neon blue flesh inside wild pigs in California, triggering advisory statements for potential contamination. You think potential? Dan Burton, this guy, the wildlife control company, says it's not a little blue, it's like neon crazy blue. Stranger than that, with all of this pig talk, Angel Studios getting some criticism after they have just acquired the rights to Andy Serkis's film adaptation of Animal Farm, starring Seth Rogen and others, and of course featuring many pigs. This little piggy over here, this one went into a police station after wandering out in the cold in Michigan, in the snow. Some lady saw a little piggy wandering around, became like a big thing, big news story out there in Michigan. The crazier thing is the fact that Miss Piggy is probably going to get her movie. I don't know. Somebody told me that Miss Piggy movie's coming out. I don't know about that. We do know that after I put that post out, it wasn't very long before Trump was in a little piggy scandal where he was supposedly called like a reporter Piggy by accident instead of Peggy. Could have been just a misstep. But the fact of the matter is, I said that we were going to see the pigs. It was going to be the day of the pigs. The pigs were going to dominate the news, and the pigs are dominating the news. Not just the news. The pigs are dominating science. There's a telomere study that was just released. This is a big deal. A complete telomere to telomere genome, essential for advancing pig genomics, pig research. This study and everything else that they've learned, guess what it's going to enable? It's going to enable precise genetic editing for xenotransplantation, allowing unlimited replacements of failing human organs to prevent age-related death and extend lifespan indefinitely. Fact of the matter is, the pigs in scripture, they're not exactly the best, okay? They're swine. The swine, you know, you can't even take, it's like, there's I believe it's a proverb, it says, you know, that like a swine that has like a beautiful diamond earring in its nose is, you know, just as ugly as a woman who's beautiful but lacks discernment. A lot of people today lack discernment. Me being, you know, called a heretic by people that have been nice to me, and I've been nice too, and I've, you know, promoted as well. It's a little weird just because I don't believe that a God of love, well, because it's not true. I mean, it's not even biblically accurate. Strange. Strange also that they think that I backed out, which is weird because I didn't back out. I just said, hey, can we push it? And then when I reached back out, I said, oh, we could do it here on my show, or we can even do a space. They're like, no, we're not interested anymore. They say that I was scared. It's not about being scared. In the grand scheme of things, what it's about is I'm being told, don't waste your pearls before swine. You know, there's a story of the prodigal. I don't know if you know the story of the prodigal. The prodigal, you know, one of two sons. The first son, he stayed close to the father and did all the father's work, and the other one kind of like wasted his life on riotous living, and everything that he had inherited that was given to him, he basically just exploited it and lost it. Where he was left, the only thing that he was left to do was feed the pigs. Isn't that funny? Maybe he also sold mattresses on the side. This is my point. This is ironic because today I'm learning I got to stop worrying about feeding the pigs. You know, at some point, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to eat this pig slop anymore. At some point, I can just, you know, just leave that space, leave that nonsense behind, move on to higher ground, to where people that are interested in the things of God. The pigs are not a great symbol at all. They don't chew the cud. That's why in the scriptures it says you shall not eat the pig, because they don't chew the cud. What is chewing the cud? It's like when you eat your food, there's another belly where it's like you can regurgitate it, chew it again, get more nutrients out of it, and you can continue to get more nutrients out of something. Chewing the cud is symbolic of you learn something, and you ponder it, you think about it, you chew on it again and again and again, and you learn from it. A pig doesn't care, doesn't chew the cud, just like, give me everything. I'm just going to believe what I'm told. I'm just going to believe what I'm told. That's why in the story of the prodigal, remember the swine? Remember the demoniac? Legion was his name, many, because they are many. Many people are possessed today by horrible things. Look at, all you got to do is go on X and you can see people attacking people. It's a nonsense cesspool in some areas. That's why we got to be lights in the darkness. The man that was in the tombs, cutting himself with stones, which is very symbolic, right? We beat ourselves up all the time. Enchained, bound up, in a graveyard. What are the Pharisees called? They were called whitewashed tombs. You think it's interesting or not that when there's a bunch of tombs, that there's a man that's possessed, bound in chains, that Christ has to come and set free? And when Christ comes to set free, what did the demoniac say? What did the man possessed say? I know you've come here to torment me. He didn't torment them. He cast the demons out. He cast those false beliefs out of the man. The man let it go. He understood that God has a plan. He was put back in his right mind. It's a picture of the truth casting out the devils, which are lies, demonic spirits. God is spirit. Jesus said, my words are spirit and they are truth. So he cast it out. And where do these demons go? Where do these lies go? Where are they only welcome? In the swine. The swine who will eat anything, who root and eat in their own poop. Dominating the news. Right now, Google pigs. You'll see so many articles about pigs. 22 days ago, I said, the pigs in the story you'll no longer miss or dismiss, for the pigs will dominate the news with only lives God can fix. In the grand scheme of things, I can't save anybody. It's not up to me. All I can do is ask you to ask God for the truth, no matter what the cost. Go to God. You don't need to go to me, right? I don't got all the answers. I'm not the end-all, be-all. I know that sometimes I can have things wrong, but at some point I got to stop caring if people can't get it, you know? Even people that I think that are talented and everything else. I've seen so many people come and go. Used to be so excited to have me on the shows. Oh, they loved hearing from me until all of a sudden they knew better. They knew better. And their better is that, you know, God is an intolerant monster who will burn and torture people endlessly forever, even though there is absolutely no biblical evidence of it if you actually look and see what it is that's being talked about in the scriptures. There you have it. This is the way things are today. The pigs are in the news. You'll probably hear more about it. The fact that Jeff Keighley of the Game Awards show, the fact that Miss Piggy came on, it was a big part of the show, and basically said to Jeff, hey, that night that we were in Bora Bora, Bora is a pig as well, where they did a little something, made it out like it was like, and he's like, oh, it's a family show. He's into bestiality with the pigs. But that's specifically a spiritual message for us to learn from. Who is it really that we want to become one with, if you will? That's what sex is, becoming one, right? And if we could put it in spiritual terms, a belief system. When you become one with a belief system, if you're believing in something that's not completely true when it comes to the things of God, you're committing adultery. This is what adultery means. You're cheating on God with a false belief, a harlot. You get what I'm saying? Pigs. They don't chew the cud. Maybe we need to chew the cud a little more. All right, listen, you got to let me know if you find that interesting. I don't know why. I just felt like the pigs were going to be a thing. Now, today, the same day, I'm realizing, stop casting your pearls before swine. If you don't like what I'm sharing here, you don't got to be here. You know, if you get upset, I'm sorry. If you believe a little differently, you know, have patience for me. That's what I did. I reached out. I said, look, you know, we can be friends. Just because I don't believe God is going to torture someone for an endless eternity and never-endingly torture this person, and it's not biblically accurate in any way. I mean, just seems like a stupid thing to dislike somebody over. All right, listen, I love each and every one of you. Go to God, ask God for the truth. Be kind, forgive, gotta love God, gotta love others. You do that, you fulfill the law. Otherwise, have fun with the pigs. And do me a favor, will you? Will you smash the like button? Will you share the video around? Get yourself some of the merch. It's almost the holiday time, right? You got Christmas, you got this thing, you got that thing. I'm not the holiday expert, but I do know that if you want to support the channel and you want to make somebody happy, get a copy of the call-in. You know what you can do too? You could use the truly free home products like I love all of you. I got to get ready for work. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to like, smash, share, get involved. All the links are in the description. We're doing a Patreon meetup next week. I don't know. I gotta turn in the lease for my car, so I gotta figure this out. But it's next week or the week after. Probably the last week in December. Maybe we'll do a New Year's show. Tell me in the comment section what you think. I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.